Growing up in Sunday school, I was taught from the Bible, those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed. And from my perspective, I want to be on the blessing side of things.
Of those who bless the government of Israel?
Those who bless Israel is what it says. It doesn't say the government of it, it says the nation of Israel.
Okay, so we're going to pause here. What we're going to see, and Ted Cruz, by the way, I've met Ted Cruz, had dinner with him once, and I asked him about his religion, about his faith, and he made it very clear that he is a Baptist. That's his religious tradition. And because he's Baptist, that explains partly why he is a dispensationalist. A dispensationalist is one who believes, now this is kind of weird. I was just explaining this to a friend this morning. Dispensationalists believe that God had plan A. And plan A was to choose the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel, sustain them, have the Messiah, Jesus Christ, born in Israel, and then they would all accept Jesus as the Messiah, and by that it would trigger all the nations coming to Jerusalem and all of them being reconciled to God, and then the end of the world would happen. Unfortunately, according to the dispensationalists, this is not Catholic theology, this is not Eastern Orthodox theology, it's not even historic Protestant theology. According to the dispensation, something went wrong. What went wrong? Well, most of the Jewish people did not accept Jesus as the Messiah in AD 33. They crucified him, they rose again, and even after that, most of the Jewish people, many did, the Blessed Virgin Mary, Peter, Paul, Andrew, Simon, so on, because they did not accept the Messiah, God hit pause. And he started what the dispensationalists call the parenthesis, the grammatical parenthesis. And God went to plan B. And plan B was to extend the gospel and salvation to all the Gentiles. And once all the full number of the Gentiles, the non-Jews, found Jesus, God would then push the play button, end the parentheses of the non-Jews by rapturing. You ever heard of rapture? It's not a Catholic idea. It's not an Eastern Orthodox. It's not even historical Protestant. He will rapture. He'll lift up all the believing Gentiles into heaven. He'll push the play button, and then everything will start again for the Jewish people, and they'll accept Jesus. There'll be a tribulation, Antichrist, and then the end of the world will come. So the key thing to understand about dispensationalism is there's a plan A, Jewish, and there's a plan B, non-Jewish. And we're living in that parenthesis, that B plan. And the dispensationalists, like Ted Cruz, as we just saw, they believe that we Gentiles have to bless the nation of Israel because it's an end time sign, and we will soon be raptured out, and then God will start dealing with the Jews and bring them to Jesus. That is not what we believe as Catholics. I wrote a best-selling commentary in the book of Revelation. It's called Antichrist and Apocalypse. You can get it at Amazon.com or get the Audible version. I lay out the historic, what's called covenant theology. Covenant theology is what Catholics believe, Orthodox believe. It's traditionally what Lutherans, Calvinists, Anglicans, it's what all Christians believe. And that is, God gave a series of 7 covenants, and the last and final covenant is the new covenant in the blood of Jesus. Jesus instituted the new covenant at the Last Supper, which was the first Eucharist. He took bread, broke it, said, "This is my body," transubstantiation. He took the chalice of blood. This is the blood of the new and everlasting covenant. The new and everlasting covenant. Jesus didn't say, this is the cup of plan B. This is the cup of the backup plan. The new covenant is a parenthesis. Jesus did not teach dispensationalism. He didn't teach there's a Jewish dispensation and a Gentile dispensation and then finish up the Jewish dispensation. Instead, what you see beginning in Genesis is God chooses a couple, Adam and Eve, and then he chooses a group of people under Moses. Or first he chooses Abraham and his people, and then Moses, a nation, And then King David, a kingdom. And then there's all the prophets. And then Jesus, John the Baptist, and then Jesus comes preaching the kingdom of heaven is at hand. It is the fulfillment. It is the end. It is the climax. It is the culmination. It is the new and everlasting covenant, the last covenant. That's it. It fulfills all the previous covenants. It doesn't destroy the previous covenants. It fulfills all the previous covenants. So it fulfills the covenant with Adam. Jesus is the new Adam. It fulfills the covenant of Abraham, that I will bless all nations through you, as we'll see. That means Jesus, not the state of Israel. It fulfills the covenant with King David, with the Messianic king. And everything is fulfilled with Jesus Christ and his body. That's the church. And there's only one church. Jesus doesn't have two wives, Israel and the church. God is not a polygamist. God has one spouse, one bride of Christ, and it is the one holy Catholic and apostolic church.